The Prime Minister Theresa May will fly to Japan tomorrow for talks aimed at reassuring business leaders about trading with the UK post-Brexit.
Hitachi employs more than 700 people in Newton Aycliffe, and Nissan employs more than 7,000 at its plant in Sunderland. And the talks are seen as key for the North East.
Our reporter Amy Lee is outside Nissan in Sunderland for us tonight. Amy, it's an important visit for businesses here, isn't it?
It is. Well, it was in October last year that Nissan told us they were going to build 2 new models at their main plant in Sunderland, securing the futures for thousands of people here and their families. Now, that came just a few weeks after a meeting with the then Chief Executive of Nissan and the Prime Minister Theresa May. Now, at that meeting, it's believed reassurances were given about what it might be like for Nissan trading with the EU and the UK post-Brexit. However, neither side has ever given any details about those reassurances, despite the fact the government has come under pressure to do so. Well, earlier today I spoke to the North East England Chamber of Commerce. They said they were feeling pretty positive about these up-and-coming talks taking place in Japan.
The North East is a bit of a success story, I think, for the UK when it comes to Japanese investment and indeed trade between the UK and Japan. It's vital that the Prime Minister recognises that, celebrates the success that we've had here, and does make the case for more investment, because we think there's a lot more we can do. We've shown in the case of Nissan and Hitachi, not only can we attract the big name players, but we can bring their supply chains. We've got the skills, we've got the talent. We hope the Prime Minister really does shout up for and stand up for our businesses that are here.
Now, Amy, ahead of the talks, there have been reports, haven't there, about Nissan bringing more of its supply chain to the North East?
These reports came out of the Asian stock exchange, the Nikkei. Now, Nissan hasn't commented on them, confirmed or denied them. But this report seemed to suggest that Nissan was thinking about bringing 80% of its supply chain to the UK. Now, 40% of it is currently here, and it does provide 40,000 jobs. And it may make sense if Nissan is in the future perhaps to face more tariff trades. If it's going to continue to trade with the EU and the UK after Brexit, it will offset those costs perhaps by bringing its supply chain closer to where it makes its cars in Sunderland. Alan Ferguson is currently one of Nissan's suppliers.
I think it's great news for the North East. The fact that Nissan are up in the volumes, which we do know, the fact that they are talking about more local supply, which is good for the supply chain. It's good for the whole concept of security of supply, because obviously if you're getting your parts from halfway around the world and there's a problem somewhere with a ship, with a plane, then it gets more difficult to keep the production line going.
Well, Downing Street couldn't give us any more details about the Prime Minister's trip to Japan and exactly what's going to be discussed at these meetings, which will take place over the next 3 days, running until Friday. But they will be discussing different businesses trading between Japan and the UK.
OK, Amy in Sunderland, thank you very much for us, and look forward to hearing more about it.